I'm so glad you're here today. It was a hot day, and now that my partner introduced Fetch with my little puppy, we go out every day so the little one can burn some energy. I adore watching Delphi get so freaking excited. She gets out of the car. I hand her a big ball to walk with in her mouth, and we head over to a grassy area where she can run and catch the ball with so much gusto. Making her happy brings me such contentment. I find the same when I'm guiding my lush mastermind luminaries as well. Also, when I'm in that expansive, energetic space where everything is possible, that brings me so much joy too. So today, I desire to invite you into something that's not a strategy, not a fix, not a plan, but a practice, a way of tending to your inner world with presence, compassion, and possibility. Because remember, energetics matter as well. Today's episode is for anyone who's been feeling that quiet weight in their chest, the kind of heaviness that doesn't always announce itself, but shows up as stuckness, as resistance, as pain or tension or transition, as a low hum of frustration that says, I should be further along by now. I don't know what else to do. If you've been holding something that feels immovable or trying to chase clarity and instead hitting a fog, I want to introduce you to something I call the dream map, a simple energetic tool that can create profound inner shifts, especially when logic and lists fall short. This is the practice I return to when things feel crunchy, when my calendar is full, but my spirit runs dry, when I'm tempted to problem solve from my head, but know the real shift needs to first come from my heart and then be able to create that action plan. So settle in, take a slow, deep breath, and let's drop in together. Welcome to Sacred Strategy, the business and energy podcast where bold strategies meet the magic of energy and intuition. I'm Sora Schilling, sacred space holder, business alchemist, and creator of the Devoted Archetypes, Sovereign Selling, and the Devoted Energy Coaching Model. For over a decade, I've guided thousands of coaches and space holders to build thriving, soul-aligned businesses that create impact and life-changing money. Let's cut through the noise of traditional strategies and uncover your unique medicine. Use the devoted archetypes to become a transformational space holder and learn to sovereignly sell with integrity. This podcast is your invitation to step into your magic and create a blissfully abundant business and life filled with curiosity, awe, and wonder. Let's dive in. In a world that often teaches us to push through, to hustle harder, or to manifest with picture-perfect positivity. Oh my gosh, imagine saying that 3 times really quickly. Picture-perfect positivity. There's something deeply radical about pausing to feel, about naming what's heavy without rushing to change it. Now, the dream map was born in a moment like that for me, a moment where I felt the weight of too many unknowns pressing down on my chest. I wanted to dream again. I wanted to imagine new timelines, but I couldn't bypass the density in my body just to get there. So this practice, sacred practice, emerged as a bridge between the heaviness of what is and the reality I was living, and the holiness of what wanted to actually come through, and realizing that there might actually be a solution if I allowed myself to think outside the box. So this isn't a journaling prompt. Exactly. It's not quite a mindset shift. Exactly. It's more like a gentle ceremony between you and your inner knowing and your mind, a soft space where you are invited to be honest, to be bold, and to believe just a little bit more than you do right now. And the beauty of this is you do not have to be in the perfect headspace to begin. You can show up messy, frustrated, lost, tender, and even honestly skeptical. The dream map will meet you exactly where you are. Okay, so this is how it works. It's a 4-step practice. So you're going to want to go ahead and grab a journal or a loose sheet of paper and a pen, and you will create 4 columns. And so these are the questions that you're going to add to each of the columns. I'm going to share them first, and then we'll go through the process. Now, you can, of course, listen to this in its entirety first, and then re listen again later when you have the moment to really drop in with pen and paper, especially if you're on the road and you're listening to this in the car or you're elsewhere right now. So, this is a 4 simple question step practice, each question designed to shift your energy, not by forcing clarity, but by opening the door to it. So, the questions are the following. Number 1, what feels hard or heavy right now? The second question is going to be, if that heavy thing were to shift, what's the dream? That third column, you'll write, why do I believe this can't happen yet? And then the fourth thing you might write is, if my dreams were already coming true, how might this happen? How might this happen? Okay, now I'm going to go step by step with this process. Number 1, what feels hard or heavy right now? Let yourself tell the truth here. This isn't the space for silver linings or spiritual bypassing. This is the place where you get to be real in all of your humanness with yourself and with the weight that you're carrying. What's sitting in your chest lately? What's been circling in your mind? Where do you feel tired, confused, stuck, or numb? Quite often, this is your day to day life, the things that feel really hard. It could be managing your self care or managing your household duties or figuring out all the different steps in your business, wishing that someone could take care of cleaning your car because it really needs a cleaning after all the pollen that has now accumulated on top of your car. There's so many little things that we have to do, and they can feel overwhelming. So it could be something logistical, like not knowing how to grow your business sustainably. It could be something deeply emotional, like feeling disconnected from your own creativity or unsure how to move forward in a relationship or identity that's shifting. Take your time, name it gently, name all of it, all the things. Naming it does not give it more power. It's giving you the power to meet it with presence. And I truly desire for you to be honest. So if there's ever a moment where you think, oh, but that's not for me, or I would feel really ashamed to voice this, I would like for you to voice it. Anything that you feel is heavy and you wish could make your life easier on a day-to-day perspective. Okay, the second one, let's dream into possibilities. So imagine if the heavy thing were to shift, what's the actual dream? If this area of your life became light and fluid or joyful again, what would that look like? This is not about coming up with a 5-point plan. It's not coming up with a plan at all. It's just about opening the window just a crack and letting in some fresh air. So, what would feel like a miraculous outcome here? What's that wild, oh, this is so good. This is too good to be true vision that makes your body exhale just thinking about it? So maybe it is that miraculously every week, everything is tidied up and cleaned and organized, and you would feel so good. You're not talking about how that's going to happen. You just simply wish that that would happen. Okay. Or maybe you would love, love, love to open the refrigerator and just know that all of the delicious meals are already there because you are feeling so much decision fatigue and so overwhelmed at the end of the night when you have to cook a meal. And so begin to really notice what comes up for you. What would feel like a dream come true? Now, maybe you imagine your home feeling like a sanctuary or your business flowing with aligned clients. Maybe you see yourself rested, clear, laughing, no longer carrying what you've carried for so long. Maybe it's knowing that you are in the most delicious, comfortable bed ever. And you just for the longest time have been having horrible sleep, but you just don't know how in the world you're going to get a new bed, the kind of bed that you would really love to have. And so you've just been very much in this experience of not being able to rest, having your body hurt, wishing for something that you feel you will not have in the near future. So let me tell you a story. I remember the time I longed to leave New York. I'm a New Yorker, born and raised, but as an adult, I never felt like I fit and I never really wanted to be there. It was too much for me energetically. And I always dreamed of traveling the world as a digital nomad with my life coaching business. But at the time, it felt like this was nothing more than a fantasy. I couldn't do this. Other people are doing it, but I'm not these people. I need X, Y, and Z before I could ever even consider being a digital nomad. I didn't have any extra money lying around. That legitimately is so. And I was in an apartment that I still had months on my lease. And it felt like a dream for me to have an idea of someday, one day, maybe, possibly this could happen. But then again, in a mastermind space that I was in, I let the desire come through. It was very vulnerable. In the moment, it was a little unexpected, actually. It wasn't something that any of my other masterminders were considering, and I spoke it out loud to my coach. And instead of shutting it down, my coach and my peers invited me to expand into this dream, to imagine what it would look like if it was possible at this very moment in time, to let go of the no's and it's not possible to what if it was possible? Within a month, I listed my New York apartment on Airbnb. It was still new at the time, Airbnb. And that alone funded the beginnings of my travels. I built my business on the road for the next 2 years. It all started by letting the dream be real enough to speak aloud and then letting my next steps rise from that energy, not overthinking it, creating this major plan with this scarcity of it not really being able to happen, but rather dreaming it, speaking it out loud to the community of my colleagues, and then being able to be open to some solutions that I didn't even think was possible, and then letting those next steps rise to the surface organically. So let your dreams speak, even if it feels far, far away, especially if it feels far away. So let your dreams speak. Okay. That next column is all about why do you believe this can't happen? This is where we name the blocks, not to judge them, but to reveal them. What are all the reasons that you believe at this moment this can't happen? To bring into the light the reasons, the stories, the deeply human beliefs that tell us not yet, not me, and not now. So these might sound like, quote, I'm not experienced enough, or I'm not ready yet, or I don't have the time. I need to make more money first. I don't trust the things will last if they're finally here and they're that good. There's no way that someone like me could go ahead and do that, right? So there are things that you might say, and I'd love for you to begin to jot those down. What are your internal conditions for receiving your dreams? You have them. You've already placed conditions and you've limited yourself based on these conditions. What imagery of a checklist have you created that you know you can't possibly check off the things on the list, and that's why you created them subconsciously? Now, here I'll tell you another story. And I remember this very vividly because it happened only about 2 years ago. It was early summer, and I felt this really soul deep knowing, that knowing that you don't even know where it's come from, but it just crashes into you in the middle of the night. And I just knew I needed a full month-long rest. Not next year, not someday, but in a couple of months. But my mind listed all the reasons I couldn't do it. I had clients, an ongoing group program, a packed schedule. There were people that expected things from me. And beyond that, I didn't believe I was the kind of person who, quote, got to take a sabbatical. Who does that is what I said to myself. I can't do that. I wasn't ready. I hadn't earned it. I don't have that much money in the accounts to ensure that I can do that, were all the reasons why I said I couldn't. Now, when I finally shared my desire with my mastermind and also shared that I truly believe that if I didn't listen to my internal body and take that rest, that my health was going to be affected. And so I felt scared about not listening, and I truly wanted it to happen. I just very much was in a limited mindset of no, it's just never going to be. There's no possible way. And so, therefore, when I began to share this out loud with the current mastermind that I was in at that time, something shifted. My mastermind colleagues did not try to logic me out of it. Instead, they invited me to dream into it. What if you could, they asked. What would it take? And they shared stories about their own personal ways in which they have taken a sabbatical themselves. And so that's what I did. I began to write it out. Every granular action, every conversation I might need to have, I began to realize what fears I had around disappointing my clients and that this might be irresponsible. And I began one by one to begin to really clear any of that energy so that I started to sense possibility. And you know what? 3 weeks later, I had lovingly communicated with my clients, all of whom were so relieved and grateful, and also had permission to rest in August. My team rose to the occasion and they were able to get to this next level of independence when it came to their own work and working with each other without me. And I took a month off. I was off of socials, off of emails. I did nothing when it came to my business. And not only did my business not fall apart, it actually grew exponentially while I rested. That's what happens when we stop waiting to be ready and start dreaming from the version of us who already said yes. So, where are there these moments within your business, for example, where you're waiting to quote, be ready? You are starting the dream, but you're not actually dreaming into the version who's already a yes. What if you at this moment in time took every step in that yes attitude of you already embodying the business that you so desire to have? So let it spill out. This is your chance to name the resistance, not as an enemy, but as a part of you that's been trying to protect you. And you can begin to clear that. Okay. In that last column, if my dreams are already coming true, how might this happen now, right now, at this very moment? So this is the final question and where we shift the energy. It's not a strategy question, okay? It's an energetic invitation. If your dreams are already arriving, if the universe, your soul, your highest, fullest expression of self was already orchestrating this, what might be available to you now? You might not know the whole how, but what tiny steps could you take as if you trusted it was unfolding? What if you expanded your awareness and the possibilities and the choices you can actually make? What have you not actually considered? How could you reach out to someone? How can you make a small change in your routine? How can you rest more deeply? How can you speak your desires out loud for the first time? This question brings you back to agency, self-agency, not hustle, but pure alignment. It reminds your nervous system that dreaming doesn't have to wait for perfection. It can begin now in small, beautiful ways. Okay, so this practice is something you can return to anytime the path feels foggy. It's especially helpful during moments of transitions. For example, seasonal shifts, career changes, or even emotional contractions. I know I always often do this on my birthday. So you can work on this on the start of a new moon cycle or on your birthday during your moon cycle or even after a particularly exhausting week. It's there for you when your body says, I don't want to keep pushing. But your soul says, I'm ready for something more. So let this practice be a lighthouse, something for you to return to, not for answers, but for spaciousness and expansion, for remembering that you are the one who dreams this life into being. And last major tip here is When you have all of this information, go ahead and be with a community of folks where you can enter in and voice this out loud. So, this is something that I have done inside of Sacred Circles and something that I'll be doing inside of Lush Ignite and the Mastermind, where together the luminaries and I are going to step into their expansive state and begin to really honor what it is that they desire and look for alternative, open ways of recognizing that they have choices and they have solutions that they never even considered. And that's the beauty and the magic when you are with other people who witness, hear you, and ask the question, what if your dream came true today? Now, if you've moved through the dream map with me today, whether you journaled it or simply reflected internally, or you stopped and you paused and you came back and you re listened, I want to say thank you to honor that you have done this practice. Even just an acknowledging what's heavy takes courage. And dreaming again, especially when you felt let down or disillusioned, frustrated in the past, that takes devotion. You are doing beautifully. You're allowed to go at your own pace. You're allowed to let things be messy, nonlinear, and also still sacred. So remember the magic in your business. I would love to hear what came through for you. If a surprising possibility whispered itself in your heart, please share. If a belief softened just a little, please share. And if a small next step revealed itself, oh yeah, please share. I want to know. Send me a DM on Instagram at Devoted Way. I'd be honored to hold that dream with you. And here's a gentle blessing to carry you as you close this space with me. May the weight you carry be met with warmth and wonder. May the dream you hold be infused with delight. And may the path ahead be lit by the quiet knowing that it's already on its way. You don't have to see the whole staircase or the whole picture. Just the next light on the path is enough. And I'm here with you as your guide, if you so let me. So keep dreaming true, and I'll talk to you soon. Blessings for now.